Companies profiting from the Gaza genocide. Published by American Friends Service Committee. The companies listed here have provided Israel with weapons and other military equipment used in its attacks on Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon, and Syria since October 2023. Companies marked with asterisk are included in our divestment list. The list below is not intended to be used as either a divestment list or a boycott list, as it includes many privately owned companies as well as companies with a very minor or one-time involvement. Since October 2023, Israel has waged unprecedented aerial and ground attacks on Gaza after Hamas led attacks on Israel. Tens of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza have been killed at a historic pace, mostly unarmed civilians, and most of the Gaza population has been displaced. These attacks may amount to a genocide, according to a preliminary ruling by the International Court of Justice, a U.S. federal court, as well as dozens of UN experts and legal scholars. Israel's attacks in Gaza have been accompanied by a surge of Israeli violence against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank, clashes between the Israeli military and militant groups in Lebanon, and Israeli aerial strikes in Syria. Shortly after October 7th, the U.S. government started transferring massive amounts of weapons to Israel. By December 25th, Israel received more than 10,000 tons of weapons and 244 cargo planes and 20 ships from the U.S. These transfers included more than 15,000 bombs and 50,000 artillery shells within just the first month and a half. These transfers have been deliberately shrouded in secrecy to avoid public scrutiny and prevent Congress from exercising any meaningful oversight. Between October and the beginning of March, the U.S. approved more than 100 military sales to Israel, but publicly disclosed only 2 sales. A list of known U.S. arms transfers is maintained by the Forum on the Arms Trade. Much of these weapons were purchased using U.S. taxpayers' money through the Foreign Military Sales Program, while some were direct commercial sales purchased through Israel's own budget. An undisclosed amount of weapons was also transferred from U.S. military stockpiles already stored in Israel, known as War Reserve Stock Allies Israel, WRSAI. The use of WRSAI to provide Israel with weapons serves to further obfuscate the full picture of U.S. arms transfers, as there is no public record of these stockpiles' inventory. The scale of destruction and war crimes in Gaza would not be possible without this continued flow of weapons from the U.S. despite massive public protests. The Biden administration has been working to give Israel over $14 billion to buy more weapons. This is on top of the $3.8 billion the U.S. already gives to the Israeli military annually. Israel is required to use this money to buy U.S.-made weapons. This is a form of corporate welfare not only for the largest weapons manufacturers, like Lockheed Martin, RTX, Boeing, and General Dynamics, which have seen their stock prices skyrocket, but also for companies that are not typically seen as part of the weapons industry, such as Caterpillar, Ford, and Toyota, see below. As a Quaker organization with a long history of work in Palestine and Israel, including in Gaza, AFSC supports a full arms embargo to both Israeli and Palestinian militant groups. This list focuses on weapons used by Israel because all Palestinian militant groups are already sanctioned and receive no support from Western governments or corporations. This research relies on media sources, social media, and other open sources. Information was also collected by Who Profits in the database of Israeli military and security export, a project of the Israeli organization New Profile. We welcome any additional information. Please contact us. AeroVironment, a military drone manufacturer headquartered in Arlington, Virginia. Around October 30th, Israel requested to purchase 200 AeroVironment Switchblade 600 kamikaze drones, an advanced direct-fire loitering missile system that acts as a suicide drone. It is unclear whether these drones were ever delivered or used by Israel. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Agilite, a private Israeli manufacturer of tactical gear and body armor that, since October 7th, has repeatedly advertised the use of its equipment by the Israeli military in its ground invasion of Gaza. On December 6th, for example, the company posted a photo of Israeli soldiers outfitted in Agilite tactical gear with the caption, "Search and destroy #Swords of Iron." The company's equipment is sold by at least 34 retailers in the U.S. and can be purchased through U.S. contracting procurement vehicles. Aimpoint AB, a privately owned Swedish company based in Malmö that specializes in developing reflex sights for firearms. Its products have been used by the Israeli military since before August 2023. Specifically, the Aimpoint red dot reflex sights, Comp M5 or Comp M4 model, has been spotted in use by Israeli soldiers operating inside the Gaza Strip. Since 2023, Aimpoint products are marketed in Israel by MTAN, see below. AM General, a manufacturer of military vehicles based in South Bend, Indiana. The company's high-mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicle, HMMWV or Humvee, has been used by the Israeli military in Gaza. The armor for these vehicles is made by Plassen, see below. On November 5th, the Israeli military reportedly used Humvees, accompanied by tanks and other armored vehicles, to lead a supply convoy into Gaza. Humvees were again used by the Israeli military on November 8th to transport Israeli media correspondents into Gaza. On December 6th, a U.S. cargo plane delivered additional Humvees to Israel. In addition to Oshkosh, see below, AM General also makes the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle. Bay Systems, the world's 7th largest weapons manufacturer, UK company Bay Systems manufactures the M109 howitzer, a 155mm mobile artillery system that the Israeli military has been using extensively, firing tens of thousands of 155mm shells into the Gaza Strip. Some of these shells are white phosphorus bombs, the use of which is forbidden in densely populated civilian areas and potentially amounts to a war crime. Israel's M109 were made by Bay in the US decades ago and went through multiple rounds of improvements in Israel. They are slated to gradually be replaced by the 155mm ROM Sigma, the world's first fully automatic howitzer, made in Israel by Elbit Systems. Bay also manufactures electronic missile launching kits and other components for Israel's F-15, F-16, and F-35 fighter jets, which the Israeli Air Force has used extensively in all of its attacks on Gaza, including in 2023. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. The Boeing Company, the world's 5th largest weapons manufacturer, Boeing manufactures F-15 fighter jets and Apache AH-64 attack helicopters, which the Israeli Air Force has used extensively in all of its attacks on Gaza and Lebanon, including in 2023. Boeing manufactures the Joint Direct Attack Munition, JDAM, kits, which convert unguided bombs of the Mk-80 series, made by General Dynamics, see below, into guided munitions. Israel has been using these bombs extensively, including in a March 27th airstrike on an emergency and relief center in the Habaraya, South Lebanon, that killed 7 civilian volunteers. According to Human Rights, this was an unlawful attack on civilians that failed to take all necessary precautions, and should be investigated as an apparent war crime. The November 1st bombing of Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp, which killed hundreds of Palestinian civilians and could amount to a war crime, according to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. Bombings on October 10th and 22 that killed 24 people of the al-Najjar family and 19 people of the Abu Muaylik family in Deir al-Bala, in what Amnesty International called unlawful airstrikes on homes full of civilians, that could amount to a war crime. Boeing also makes the 250-pound GBU-39 guided small-diameter bomb, SDB, which is also extensively used by the Israeli Air Force. According to the New York Times and CNN, Israel dropped 2 such bombs in its May 26th airstrike of the Telephone al-Sultan refugee camp in Rafah. The attack caused a massive fire that resulted in the death of at least 45 people, mostly civilians. Immediately after October 7th, Boeing expedited delivery of 1,000 small-diameter bombs, and another 1,800 JDAM kits, to Israel. Both deliveries were part of an older order that Israel placed in 2021 during its previous large-scale attack on Gaza. Headquartered in Arlington, Virginia, the company has important production facilities outside of Los Angeles, Seattle, and St. Louis. For more locations, see this map. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Caterpillar, For decades, Caterpillar has been supplying Israel with the D9 armored bulldozer, which the Israeli military routinely uses to demolish Palestinian homes and civilian infrastructure in the occupied West Bank and to enforce the blockade of the Gaza Strip. Armored D9 bulldozers have been crucial for Israel's ground invasion of the Gaza Strip, accompanying combat troops and paving their way by clearing roads and demolishing buildings. D9 bulldozers were also used in raids of Palestinian cities in the occupied West Bank, including Jenin and Tulkarem, where a bulldozer was used to destroy a memorial to former Palestinian President Yasser Arafat. Deliberate destruction of cultural heritage sites during an armed conflict can constitute a war crime. Since December, Caterpillar D9 bulldozers and other heavy equipment have been systematically destroying civilian buildings and other property alongside the Gaza Strip border, creating a half-a-mile-wide buffer zone over roughly 16% of the Strip's area. According to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, extensive destruction of property, not justified by military necessity and carried out unlawfully and wantonly, amounts to a grave breach of the Fourth Geneva Convention and a war crime. On December 16th, Israeli bulldozers were reportedly running over and crushing displaced people inside their tents in Beit Lahia's Kamal Adwan Hospital courtyard, killing several people in the process. In February, Caterpillar bulldozers and other heavy machinery participated in building a new road that runs across the Gaza Strip from east to west, designed to facilitate Israeli long-term logistical and military control in the region. On March 28th, a military bulldozer, likely made by Caterpillar, was captured on video dragging and burying in the sand two bodies of Palestinian men, who were shot dead by Israeli soldiers. Before they were killed, the men appeared unarmed, and at least one of them was seen repeatedly waving what appeared to be white fabric. Israel placed an urgent order for dozens of additional D9 armored bulldozers after October 7th. Some of Israel's D9T bulldozers have been converted into remote-controlled or semi-autonomous vehicles so that they can operate without a driver in complex, high-risk areas. In November, Israel Aerospace Industries, the company that converts the bulldozers, modified more units for the Israeli military for its operations in Gaza. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Colt's Manufacturing Company. Colt's Manufacturing Company makes firearms, including the M16, which was the standard-issue assault rifle used by the Israeli military from the 1990s to the early 2010s. Many older M16 rifles are still in use by the Israeli military and police. Israel requested to purchase from Colt about 18,000 M4 and Mk18 assault rifles, out of 24,000 total assault rifles from U.S. companies. Israel designates these firearms for newly formed civilian security squads in dozens of cities and towns, including illegal Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. U.S. State Department officials, who have to approve the sale of automatic rifles, expressed concerns that these weapons will be used to expel Palestinian civilians from their land in the occupied West Bank. While Israel guaranteed that the rifles will only be used by government agencies, the U.S. has reportedly delayed a shipment of 4,500 rifles from the same order. Colt is headquartered in Hartford, Connecticut, and is owned by Czech firearms manufacturer Colt CZ Group, CZP. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. CoreSight AI. CoreSight developed an AI-based facial recognition application for the Israeli military to conduct mass surveillance of Palestinians in Gaza. According to the New York Times, Israeli soldiers entering Gaza were given cameras equipped with the technology. Soldiers also set up checkpoints along major roads that Palestinians were using to flee areas of heavy fighting, with cameras that scan faces. The company is based in Israel and is jointly owned by Israeli company Cortica and Canadian venture capital firm AWZ Ventures. Dan Zimmerman. A privately owned munitions manufacturer headquartered in Philadelphia, it operates the Iowa Army Ammunition Plant, IAP, which has been the source of much of the artillery munitions used by the Israeli military, including 155mm rounds, fired by Israel's M109 howitzer guns, and 120mm M830A1 high-explosive anti-tank heat rounds, fired by Israel's Merkava battle tanks. The factory has been operated by Mason and Hanger since 1951. Between 1998 to 2007, it was operated by American Ordnance, a joint venture of Mason and Hanger and General Dynamics. Dan Zimmerman acquired Mason and Hanger in 1999, and in 2007 acquired General Dynamics stake in American Ordnance. In November, Israeli tanks fired M830A1 rounds as part of their attack on a UN school in Gaza. The serial number on one of the rounds suggests that it was made at IAP by Mason and Hanger in December 1990. On January 29th, Israeli tanks fired M830A1 rounds as part of their attack that killed 6-year-old Hind Rajab, her 6 family members, and the medics that attempted to rescue her, in the Gaza neighborhood of Telephone al-Hawa. The serial number on an exploded round found inside the ambulance suggests that it was made at IAP by Mason and Hanger in November 1996. In December, the U.S. government used emergency measures to approve sending Israel an estimated number of 14,000 M830A1 tank rounds, without congressional review. The transfer, from the existing inventory of the U.S. Army, is worth $106.5 million, funded by U.S. taxpayers' money. Dan Zimmerman's factory in Texarkana, Texas, is the current supplier of M830A1 rounds for the U.S. Army. Between 2017 to 2021, the U.S. Army's supplier of these munitions was a Northrop Grumman factory in Plymouth, Minnesota. DJI, a privately owned Chinese commercial drone manufacturer. The Israeli military has been using its drones for multiple purposes, including most recently as small assassin drones in Gaza. Elbit Systems. Israel's largest weapons manufacturer, Elbit Systems is one of the primary suppliers of weapons and surveillance systems to the Israeli military, including Skylark and Hermes military UAV drones, which form the majority of Israel's fleet of large drones and have been used extensively in Gaza. Elbit-made MPR-500 multi-purpose bombs are being used by Israel in its attacks on the Gaza Strip. Designed for use in densely populated urban warfare, these bombs contain 26,000 controlled fragments for high kill probability. Elbit says that these 500-pound bombs are as powerful as US-made 2,000-pound Mk-84 bombs. They can be converted into guided bombs using kits such as the Boeing, see above, Joint Direct Attack Munition, JDAM. Israel used in such an MPR-500 bomb in its March 27, 2024 airstrike on an emergency and relief center in Habaraya, Lebanon. The attack, which killed 7 civilian aid volunteers, failed to take all necessary precautions to avoid harm to civilians and should be investigated as an apparent war crime, according to Human Rights Watch. Elbit Systems' killer Hermes 450 and 900 drones have been used extensively in attacks on and surveillance missions in Gaza, the occupied West Bank, and Lebanon. On April 1st, a Hermes 450 drone attacked 3 vehicles of the humanitarian organization World Central Kitchen near Deir al-Bala in the central Gaza Strip. The attack resulted in the killing of 7 aid workers who were managing food shipments. They were from Palestine, Australia, Poland, the UK, and a dual citizen of the US and Canada. The Hermes 450 can carry 4 air-to-ground spike missiles, made by Israeli company Rafael, although some sources claim that it can also carry Hellfire missiles, made by Lockheed Martin in the US. The damage from this attack is consistent with spike missiles. Elbit's head-mounted display helmet technology is integrated into the Israeli Air Force's fighter jets and helicopters as well as the military's Merkava 5 Barak battle tank. The company is also a subcontractor of Lockheed Martin. It integrates its helmet technology into F-35 fighter jets worldwide. It also supplies the Israeli military with 155mm artillery shells and many other weapon systems and technologies. Elbit Systems spearheaded the technological aspects of the smart border wall surrounding the Gaza Strip, which failed on October 7th. It is also a prime contractor for the militarization of the US-Mexico border. On October 13th, the Israeli military fired 120mm tank rounds at journalists in South Lebanon, killing Reuters journalist Assam Abdallah and injuring 6 others in what could amount to a war crime. The munitions used were most likely M339 rounds made by Elbit Systems, according to Amnesty International. The company, headquartered in Israel, has a large U.S. presence, with facilities in Alabama, Talladega, Florida, Boca Raton and DeLeon Springs, Massachusetts, Cambridge, New Hampshire, Merrimack, Pennsylvania, Birdsboro, South Carolina, Ladson, Virginia, Reston and Roanoke, and Texas, Fort Worth and San Antonio. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Emtan Carmiel, a privately held Israeli firearm manufacturer that within a week of October 7th, delivered some 12,000 rifles to the Israeli military and other security forces. Many of these rifles, if not all of them, are MZ-4P assault rifles that have been acquired by the Israeli Ministry of National Security to arm new civilian security squads in dozens of cities and towns, including illegal settlements in the occupied West Bank. News of these security squads reportedly caused the U.S. to halt shipments of thousands of additional assault rifles to Israel. See above on Colt. Flyer Defense, a private Los Angeles-based manufacturer of military tactical vehicles. In October, the company provided Israel with units of its Flyer 72 patrol vehicle, which it developed in partnership with General Dynamics. See below. The vehicle uses a General Motors, see below, engine. Israel was reportedly testing these vehicles because it wants to purchase tactical utility vehicles using U.S. taxpayers' money and not rely solely on its other supplier of similar vehicles, Israeli company IAI. See below. In January, it was reported that Israel ordered 60 additional Flyer 72 tactical vehicles, funded by U.S. taxpayers' money. Ford Motor Company, a U.S. automaker whose commercial pickup trucks are armored and retrofitted for the Israeli military by AM General. See above, Oshkosh, see below, and Plassen, see below. The Ford Super Duty F350XL pickup truck, for example, serves as the basis of Plassen's Sand Cab light armored vehicle. On December 6th, a U.S. cargo plane delivered Sand Cab vehicles to Israel. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. General Dynamics, the world's sixth largest weapons manufacturer, General Dynamics, supplies Israel with artillery ammunition and bombs for attack jets used in Israel's assault on Gaza. The company developed the F-16 fighter jet, although it has been manufactured by Lockheed Martin since 1993. General Dynamics is the only company in the U.S. that makes the metal bodies for the Mk-80 bomb series, one of the primary aerial munitions Israel has used to bomb Gaza. The Israeli Air Force extensively uses 500-pound Mk-82, Blue 111 bombs, 1,000-pound Mk-83, Blue 110 bomb, and 2,000-pound Mk-84, Blue 109 bomb. Different designations, Mk versus Blue, indicate a different explosive filling. When converted into guided munitions using Boeing's JDAM kits, see above, these bombs' designation changes to GBU-38, 500 pounds, GBU-32, 1,000 pounds, or GBU-31, 2,000 pounds. The largest of this bomb series, the 2,000-pound Mk-84, Blue 109, GBU-31 bomb, is notorious for the damage it creates, and cannot be used in densely populated urban areas without causing massive civilian casualties. The explosion of a 2,000-pound bomb means instant death for people within 100 feet, with lethal fragments extending for up to 1,200 feet. According to a CNN analysis, Israel dropped more than 500 such bombs in the northern Gaza Strip until November 6th. These include, for example, the November 1st bombing of Jabalia refugee camp, which killed hundreds of Palestinian civilians and could amount to a war crime, according to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. According to a New York Times analysis, by mid-November, Israel dropped over 208 2,000-pound bombs on the southern Gaza Strip, in areas where Israel had ordered civilians to move for safety. This includes, for example, an October 10th bombing that killed 24 people of the Al-Najjar family and potentially an October 22nd bombing that killed 19 people of the Abu Muaylik, both in Deir al-Bala. Amnesty International called both attacks unlawful airstrikes on homes full of civilians that could amount to a war crime. Between October 7th and December 21st, the U.S. reportedly sent Israel more than 5,000 Mk-84 bombs. On March 29th, it was reported that the U.S. had quietly authorized, fulfilling a number of older Israeli munitions orders, including more than 1,800 Mk-84 2,000-pound bombs and 500 Mk-82 500-pound bombs. In early May, the U.S. government reportedly decided to hold up this shipment to pressure Israel not to conduct an attack on Rafah. General Dynamics is also the only company in the U.S. that makes 155mm caliber artillery shells, which have been used extensively to attack Gaza. One source reported that, by November 25th, one Israeli brigade fired some 10,000 such shells using Bay's M109 howitzer. 155mm shells have been part of the U.S.'s recent weapons shipments to Israel. The U.S. is planning to send tens of thousands of 155mm artillery shells that had been destined for Ukraine to Israel. Their use by Israel, according to Oxfam, is virtually assured to be indiscriminate, unlawful, and devastating to civilians in Gaza. On November 13th, more than 30 organizations issued a letter opposing the transfer. General Dynamics also partnered with Flyer Defense, see above, to develop an armored patrol vehicle that Israel is testing. On an October 25th call with investors, General Dynamics CFO, Jason Aiken, said, "I think if you look at the incremental demand potential coming out of the attacks on Gaza, the biggest one to highlight and that really sticks out is probably on the artillery side." General Dynamics is based outside of Washington, D.C., in Fairfax, Virginia. For more locations, see this map. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. General Electric, the world's 31st largest weapons manufacturer, General Electric manufactures T-700 turboshaft engines for Boeing's Apache helicopters. GE is headquartered in Fairfield, Connecticut. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. General Motors provides engines and transmission units for multiple vehicles used by the Israeli military, including the Flyer 72, see above, and all-terrain vehicles of the Z series made by IAI, see below. Israel buys GM parts using U.S. taxpayers' money, even for vehicles made in Israel. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Ghost Robotics, a Philadelphia-based robotics company that has provided the Israeli military with its Vision 60 robot dogs for use in Gaza. The first 3 units were donated to the military in December by Israeli organization Brothers in Arms. The Israeli military later acquired more such robots, and added to them an aerial drone called Rooster, made by Israeli company Roboticon in collaboration with the Israeli Ministry of Defense. Honeywell International Inc., one of the world's top 100 arms-producing companies, Honeywell made about 13% of its revenue from military applications as of 2022. One of its products, a family of sensors called inertial measurement units, IMU, is an integral component in many guided bombs, missiles, and drones. The company's HG-170 IMU is part of Boeing's JDAM kits, which turn unguided bombs into precise munitions and have been one of the main weapon systems used by Israel in Gaza. Similarly, Honeywell's HG-1930 IMU is part of Boeing's GBU-39 small-diameter bombs, which have become Israel's weapon of choice in Gaza. For recent transfers of an airstrikes involving JDAM and GBU-39 bombs, see above, under Boeing. While Honeywell's components typically leave no trace at the site of bombing, one Honeywell component was found intact following a June 6, 2024 Israeli airstrike on the UN Al-Sardi school in Gaza. The attack killed 40 Palestinians, including 14 children, and wounded at least 74 others. The component was identified by Al Jazeera as a Honeywell's HG-1930 IMU, and its markings indicate that it was manufactured in 2022. While this component is part of Boeing's GBU-39 small-diameter bomb, it can also be part of other weapon systems, and we cannot say definitively what bomb was used in that attack. HD Hyundai Heavy Industries, Hyundai. The world's largest shipbuilding company and a major heavy equipment manufacturer, Hyundai makes track excavators and other machinery that have been used to demolish Palestinian homes in the occupied West Bank. On January 3rd, for example, a Hyundai excavator was used to demolish a Palestinian family's home in Jabal Mukaber, a predominantly Palestinian neighborhood in occupied East Jerusalem. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Infinidome, a private Israeli manufacturer of GPS protection and navigation systems for drones. According to the company, it has been working day and night, especially since October 7th, to provide its technology to the Israeli military for use in Gaza. The company has pitched its technology to the U.S. Department of Transportation, boasting that it has been used since 2018 to protect the navigation systems of the Israeli Defense Force drones that patrol the border with Gaza. Israel Aerospace Industries, IAI. A large Israeli state-owned weapons manufacturer, Israel Aerospace Industries makes multiple weapon systems specifically for the Israeli military, including the Heron TP killer drone. On a November 22nd call with investors, EI CEO, Boaz Levy, said that Heron drones have played a pivotal role in Israel's attacks on Gaza, including in strike operations. In early October, Germany approved a request by Israel to use 2 Heron TP drones, manufactured by IAI, in its attacks on Gaza. IAI also provides the Israeli military with the Zabar tactical utility vehicle. In 2022, the Israeli military ordered about $27 million worth of 2 models, the ZD and larger ZMAG, designated for its elite units. This was in addition to several other Zabar vehicles already in use in patrolling Israel's border with Egypt. Some of the vehicle's components, including its General Motors engine, are made in the U.S. and bought using U.S. taxpayers' money. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. JC Bamford Excavators Limited, JCB. JCB heavy machinery has been used for years to demolish Palestinian homes, farmland, and infrastructure and to construct illegal Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. On January 1st, a JCB bulldozer was used to uproot olive trees and destroy land belonging to a Palestinian family in Beit Safafa, a Palestinian neighborhood in occupied East Jerusalem. L3 Harris Technologies. The world's 9th largest weapons manufacturer, L3 Harris manufactures components that are integrated into multiple weapon systems used by the Israeli military in Gaza, including Boeing's JDAM kits, see above, Lockheed Martin's F-35 warplane, see below, Northrop Grumman's SAR-5 warships, see below, ThyssenKrupp's SAR-6 warships, see below, and Israel's Merkava battle tanks. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Leonardo. Italy's largest weapons manufacturer, Leonardo makes the Auto Melara 76-62 Super Rapid 76mm naval guns installed on the Israeli Navy's SAR warships. Israel's newest warship, the SAR-6, was used operationally for the first time on October 16, 2023, firing at targets in Gaza using Leonardo's gun. On December 27th, Leonardo subsidiary DRS Sustainment Systems, based in St. Louis, was awarded a $15.4 million contract for manufacturing heavy-duty tank trailers for Israel. The contract is funded by U.S. taxpayers' money and is estimated to be completed in December 2026. For more information on this company, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Leupold and Stevens, a Oregon-based maker of scopes, sights, and binoculars. Its telescopic rifle scopes are widely used by Israeli military sniper units. Lockheed Martin. The world's largest weapons manufacturer, Lockheed Martin supplies Israel with F-16 and F-35 fighter jets, which Israel has been using extensively to bomb Gaza. Israel also uses the company's C-130 Hercules transport planes to support the ground invasion of Gaza. Lockheed Martin manufactures AGM-114 Hellfire missiles for Israel's Apache helicopters. One of the main weapon types used in aerial attacks on Gaza, these missiles have been used extensively in 2023. Some 2,000 Hellfire missiles were delivered to Israel sometime between October 7th and November 14th. Lockheed Martin subsidiary Sikorsky manufactures the CH-53K King Stallion heavy lift helicopter, used to transport Israeli soldiers into and out of Gaza. On January 8th, Sikorsky was awarded $18.3 million from U.S. taxpayers' money for continued work on the CH-53K aircraft it has provided to Israel. On December 28th, Lockheed Martin was awarded a $10.5 million contract for continued support for Israel's fleet of F-35 warplanes. On December 11th, the Israeli Air Force used a Lockheed Martin C-130J Super Hercules aircraft to drop approximately 7 tons of equipment to Israeli soldiers engaging in ground attacks in Khan Yunis, located in the southern Gaza Strip. This was the first operational airdrop that Israel has carried out since the 2006 Lebanon war. On November 9th, an Israeli missile hit journalists sitting near Shifa Hospital in Gaza City. The missile was reportedly a Lockheed Martin-made Hellfire R9X missile, a version of the Hellfire that was developed by the CIA for carrying out assassinations. Instead of exploding, the missile shreds its target using blades, allowing for a direct hit without collateral damage. The target in this case was not a military one. The Israeli military also uses Lockheed Martin's M270 Multiple Launch Rocket System, MLRS. Used to fire Elbit Systems high-precision ACCULAR-122, the weapon was used by Israel for the first time since the 2006 war in Lebanon, on October 6, according to the Israeli military. On an October 17th call with investors, Lockheed Martin CEO, Jim Teichlet, highlighted the Israel and Ukraine conflicts as potential drivers for increased revenue in the coming years. Lockheed Martin is headquartered in Bethesda, Maryland, and has key production sites in Denver, Houston, New Orleans, and San Diego. For more locations, see this map. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. MDT Armor, Shwadot. MDT Armor, owned by Israeli company Shwadot, makes the David Urban Light Armored Vehicle, the standard patrol and reconnaissance vehicle used by the Israeli military and routinely used in human rights violations in the occupied West Bank. On November 14th, the Palestine Red Crescent Society, PRCS, posted evidence of the Israeli military using 2 David armored vehicles to block an ambulance carrying a wounded Palestinian in the Tulkarm refugee camp. The same day, the Israeli military used a David vehicle to attack Palestinian youth at the Zafara military checkpoint near the occupied West Bank city of Nablus. A shipment of David vehicles was rushed to Israel in October 2023. The David is built on the basis of Toyota's Helix and Land Cruiser pickup trucks and is retrofitted for the needs of the Israeli military at MDT's factory in Auburn, Alabama. For more information, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Mercedes-Benz Group AG. A German automaker that in November expedited the delivery of 112 Arox trucks to the Israeli military, which uses them to transport its Merkava tanks as well as other heavy armored vehicles and bulldozers. The Israeli military chose Mercedes as its main supplier of tank transporters in 2022 and ordered a total of 460 trucks, customized for its needs. Next Vision. An Israeli startup that manufactures cameras for weapon systems. Its cameras are installed, for example, on drones manufactured by major weapons companies like Elbit Systems, see above, Israel Aerospace Industries, see above, and Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, see below, and used in Israel's attacks on Gaza. The company has experienced increased sales during Israel's attacks on Gaza and decided to prioritize Israeli orders even though most of its clients are not in Israel. The company's CEO has stated that wars are good for business. Nordic Ammunition Company, NAMO. The maker of the M141 bunker defeat munition, a shoulder-fired bunker buster rocket used by the Israeli military in Gaza. As of the end of October, the U.S. has delivered 1,800 out of a requested 3,000 M141 shoulder-fired rocket launchers to Israel. These rockets are made in the U.S., at the NAMO Tally factory in Mesa, Arizona. However, NAMO Tally's parent company, NAMO, is headquartered in Norway and co-owned by the Norwegian government and Finnish company Patria Oyj. The latter is co-owned by the government of Finland, 50.1%, and Norwegian company Kongsberg Defence and Aerospace, 49.9%, which is part of Kongsberg Gruppen, FRA, KAS. Northrop Grumman. The world's sixth largest weapons manufacturer, Northrop Grumman supplies the Israeli Air Force with the Longbow missile delivery system for its Apache attack helicopters and laser weapon delivery systems for its fighter jets. It has also supplied the Israeli Navy with SAR-5 warships, which have participated in the assault on Gaza. On December 15th, Northrop Grumman was awarded an $8.9 million contract for 30mm Mk-44 stretch cannons for the Israeli military, funded by U.S. taxpayers' money. The weapons will be manufactured in Mesa, Arizona, with an expected completion date of March 2025. Israel uses these guns on its Namor armored personnel carrier, which has been used extensively in Gaza. Northrop Grumman is headquartered in Falls Church, Virginia, and its most important production sites are located in and around Baltimore, Denver, Los Angeles, and San Diego. For more locations, see this map. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Oshkosh. A specialty truck manufacturer headquartered in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Oshkosh manufactures the hulls for the Eaton, Israel's newest armored personnel carrier, which was used operationally for the first time in the ground invasion of Gaza. Oshkosh also makes the trucks that Israel converts into the Panther, an armored personnel carrier used extensively in the occupied West Bank. On December 7th, the Israeli military captured dozens of Palestinians in Gaza and transported them to Israel for interrogation. Individuals were stripped down to their underwear and publicly humiliated for hours, potentially in violation of international humanitarian law. At least some were transported in Oshkosh medium tactical vehicles. While Israeli media claimed that these individuals were all members of Hamas, the Israeli military later admitted that the vast majority were civilians. In addition, Israel acquired 75 Oshkosh Joint Light Tactical Vehicles in November, to be delivered until September 2025. The initial $208 million order was funded by U.S. taxpayers' money. A subsequent modification to the original contract was partially funded by U.S. taxpayers' money, while the rest was funded through Israel's own budget. This order by Israel will keep Oshkosh's JLTVs in production until 2025, longer than the company had originally planned. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Pause Oil. Israel's largest oil and gas company, Pause supplies jet fuel to most Israeli Air Force bases. This contract, originally signed in 2017 and set to expire in 2026, covers 7 air bases and gives the military the option to extend it to its other 2 active air bases. The Israeli Air Force also uses jet fuel made in the U.S. by Valero, see below. Pause produces jet fuel at its Ashdod refinery, out of imported crude oil, and is one of only 2 companies that produce jet fuel in Israel. It is also the largest supplier of jet fuel for Israel's commercial market. Plasan. A private Israeli military vehicle manufacturer that makes the Sandcab light armored vehicle for the Israeli military. At least some of these vehicles are manufactured at the company's factory in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Since October 7th, Plasan has delivered dozens of Sandcat Tigris armored vehicles to the Israeli military and has produced hundreds of ballistic plates every day for its use. The company also makes the armor for Oshkosh's Joint Light Tactical Vehicles, JLTVs, see above, and AM General's Humvees and JLTVs, see above. The Israeli military has used all of these vehicles in its 2023 attacks on Gaza. On December 6th, a U.S. cargo plane delivered Plasan armored Humvees to Israel. Rafael Advanced Defense Systems. A large Israeli state-owned weapons manufacturer, Rafael Advanced Defense Systems makes missiles, drones, and other weapon systems for the Israeli military. The Israeli military has used Rafael spike-guided missiles extensively to target, from the air and ground, people inside buildings in the Gaza Strip. The Spike missile family includes many configurations, including ground missiles for use by infantry soldiers and air-to-ground missiles that can be mounted on aircraft and drones. On April 1st, a Hermes 450 drone, made by Elbit Systems, see above, attacked 3 vehicles of the humanitarian organization World Central Kitchen near Deir al-Bala in the central Gaza Strip. The attack resulted in the killing of 7 aid workers who were managing food shipments. They were from Palestine, Australia, Poland, the UK, and a dual citizen of the US and Canada. The Hermes 450 can carry 4 air-to-ground Spike missiles, and the damage from this attack is consistent with Spike missiles. The Israeli military has also used the Matador, RGW-90, portable shoulder-fired anti-tank rocket in Gaza, specifically by infantry soldiers to destroy buildings from the ground. The rockets are made by German company Dynamit Nobel Defense, DND, a subsidiary of Rafael, and co-developed with the Singaporean government. In 2023, the German government approved the export of some $27 million worth of weapons to Israel, including 3,000 portable anti-tank weapons, presumably the Matador. The Orbiter 4, Israel's newest killer drone, which was developed by Rafael's subsidiary Aeronautics, was used operationally for the first time in Gaza on November 8th. Rafael's Trophy Active Protection System for armored vehicles enables Israeli battle tanks to go into Gaza and avoid being damaged by anti-tank weapons. The company markets the system as one that increases the lethality of combat forces. Rafael collaborated with the Israeli military to develop the Spark, a new unmanned drone used to carry out intelligence missions, escort ground forces, and direct strikes. After first being received by the Israeli Air Force in September, Spark drones have reportedly been assisting Israeli combat teams in Gaza and acting as a force multiplier on the battlefield. Rank Group, a German manufacturer of transmissions, engines, and vehicle suspension systems. It developed the transmission units for Israel's Merkava 4 and 5 Barak battle tanks as well as the Namor armored personnel carrier. For years, these transmission units are made under license by Israeli company Ashot Ashkelon. A Rank factory in Michigan also manufactures the Merkava and Namor engines, which were developed by MTU, a subsidiary of Rolls-Royce, see below. Rheinmetall AG, Germany's largest weapons manufacturer, which is providing Israel with 10,000 rounds of 120mm precision tank ammunition. Israel made the request in November, and Germany reportedly considered speeding up delivery of the ammunition by providing it from its own military's existing stockpiles while ordering more from Rheinmetall. Rolls-Royce Holdings plc. Rolls-Royce Holdings is the world's 25th largest weapons manufacturer. It is no longer associated with Rolls-Royce cars, which have been manufactured by BMW since 1998. The company's German subsidiary MTU developed the engines for Israel's Merkava 4 and 5 Barak battle tanks. Israel has used these tanks extensively in the Gaza Strip, including in its November attacks on the Shifa hospital and the Indonesian hospital. MTU's engines also power Israel's Namor armored personnel carrier, which is based on the Merkava tank, and the newer and lighter Eden armored fighting vehicle, both of which have also been used extensively in Gaza. Israel's 2023 ground invasion of Gaza marked the first operational use of the Merkava 5 Barak tank and the Eden AFV. MTU also makes most of the engines for the Israeli Navy's ships. While MTU is headquartered in Germany, the engines that it provides to the Israeli military are made in Michigan using U.S. taxpayers' money by German company Rank, see above. Asterisk RTX, formerly Raytheon. The world's second largest weapons manufacturer and largest producer of guided missiles, RTX supplies the Israeli Air Force with guided air-to-surface missiles for its F-16 fighter jets, as well as cluster bombs and bunker buster bombs, although there is no conclusive evidence that Israel has been using them in Gaza since October 2023. RTX subsidiary Pratt & Whitney manufactures engines for F-15 and F-16 fighter jets. As part of a joint venture with Israeli state-owned weapons manufacturer Rafael, RTX makes interceptors for Israel's Iron Dome air defense system, which have been part of the U.S.'s recent weapons shipments to Israel. On an October 24th call with investors, RTX CEO, Greg Hayes, said, "I think really across the entire Raytheon portfolio, you're going to see a benefit of this restocking." RTX moved its headquarters from Waltham, Massachusetts to Arlington, Virginia in 2022. For more locations, see this map. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Shield AI. a drone manufacturer headquartered in San Diego, California, that claims U.S. and Israeli forces have named its autonomous Nova 2 drone as the world's most mission-capable indoor drone. Israel has been using the Nova 2 drone, close-quarters indoor combat, in Gaza. SK Group, a private Israeli company that owns Israel Weapon Industries, IWI, a firearms manufacturer that makes the Tabor assault rifle and Negev machine gun, both of which are standard-issue weapons in the Israeli military. Since mid-October, IWI has reportedly been producing hundreds of Tabor rifles each day for the Israeli military as well as the domestic commercial market. Meprolite, a manufacturer of see-through-the-wall radar technology used to identify targets concealed behind walls and barriers. The technology was used by the Israeli military for the first time in its 2014 attacks on Gaza. Israel Shipyards, a shipbuilding company that designs and manufactures missile boats, gunboats, and patrol boats for the Israeli Navy and Israel Border Police. On December 5th, the company announced the launch of its first Shalbig MK vs. patrol boat, a ship equipped with highly advanced weapons for the Israeli Navy. Other subsidiaries include Greek company Elvo, Israeli real estate developer Oshira, and Uniscope, which makes optical systems for armored vehicles. Skydio, a drone manufacturer headquartered in San Mateo, California, that has sent more than 100 short-range reconnaissance drones to the Israeli military, with more to come. These autonomous drones are used to navigate and produce 3D scans of buildings in complex urban environments. SMARTSHOOTER, an Israeli company that developed the Smash 2000L 3000 system, marketed as a smart site for tracking moving targets and used by the Israeli military in its 2023 attacks on Gaza. For example, in November, the Maglan Special Forces unit of the Israeli military used the system to target homes and infrastructure near a school in the Shati refugee camp in northern Gaza. Spear UAV, an Israeli drone startup that developed the Viper suicide drone, which can be easily launched from a capsule by infantry soldiers or from an armored vehicle, to locate, track, and attack targets by crashing into them and self-destructing. The company has stated that Israel's 2023 attacks on Gaza accelerated its development of specific products required by the Israeli military. Textron, a US-based military contractor known for its Bell, Beechcraft, Cessna, and Hawker aircraft brands. The Israeli Air Force 100 Squadron, which has supported Israel's military ground troops in Gaza, uses multiple Textron aircraft, including the Beechcraft King Air, Queen Air, RC-12D Guardrail, and Bonanza A-36. At least some of these aircraft were given to Israel using US taxpayers' money. For more information on this company, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. ThyssenKrupp, a German engineering company that built the Israeli Navy's Force R-6 warships, which were used for the first time on October 16th against targets in Gaza. Toyota, a Japanese automaker that manufactures the pickup trucks used by the Israeli military as the basis for the David Urban Light Armored Vehicle, CMDT armor above. Valero Energy Corporation, a U.S. oil and gas company, which has been supplying military-grade jet fuel, JP-8, for the Israeli Air Force, using U.S. taxpayers' money. Every other month, the company sends to a tanker filled with JP-8 fuel from its Bill Greer refinery in Corpus Christi, Texas, to Ashkelon, Israel. 3 such shipments were documented since October. The Israeli government contracts Tampa-based shipping company Overseas Shipholding Group, NYSE, OSG, for these shipments. The Israeli Air Force also uses jet fuel made in Israel by Paz Oil, see above. For more information on Valero, not including these latest developments, see our company profile on the Investigate database. Woodward, a Colorado-based company, Woodward is part of the supply chain of multiple missiles and guided bombs that Israel uses. The company makes fin control actuation systems for Boeing's JDAM kits and GBU-39 small-diameter bombs, see above under Boeing. Israel used 2 GBU-39 bombs in its May 26th airstrike on Rafah, which killed at least 45 people, mostly civilians. Bomb fragments found at the scene showed serial number 81873, which is associated with the Woodward HRT Inc. factory in Santa Clarita, CA. In addition, a picture posted on October 23rd from Gaza of bomb missile remnants shows a component with Woodward's name and logo. XTEND, a privately held Israeli company that manufactures drones, including the Wolverine combat drone that requires no training. Operated via virtual reality goggles and a one-handed joystick, the Wolverine is being used by the Israeli military in Gaza to search and gather intelligence on buildings and infrastructure. Equipped with a robotic arm, the drones can also be used for tactical operations. U.S. tech companies. Israel has made unprecedented usage of artificial intelligence, AI, tools, creating a mass assassination factory to facilitate the world's first AI-assisted genocide. AI systems and databases developed and used by the Israeli militaries include the Gospel, Hapsora, which generates stationary, building, infrastructure, targets, Lavender, which fuses data about human targets, and Where's Daddy, which tracks individuals to their families' residences, where they are targeted. These AI tools have generated thousands of targets with minimal human intervention, and have facilitated the mass killing of tens of thousands of Palestinians, many of them unarmed civilians. The following companies have been providing the Israeli military with hardware, cloud computing services, AI tools, and other technologies linked to this automated genocide. Amazon, NASDAQ, AMZN. The Israeli military publicly admitted to using Amazon Web Services, OS, to enhance its capabilities during its war on Gaza, along with cloud services by Google and Microsoft. Of these 3 companies, the Israeli military's relationship with Amazon is reportedly the closest. Israeli military intelligence uses AWS servers to store masses of intelligence information on almost everyone in Gaza. Since 2021, Amazon has been providing cloud services to the Israeli government under Project Nimbus, a $1.2 billion contract it shares with Google. It provides cloud services to all branches of the Israeli government, including the military, the Israeli Security Agency, Shabak, Shin Bet, police, prison service, weapons manufacturers, Israel Aerospace Industries and Rafael, see above, and government agencies related to Israel's illegal settlement enterprise in the occupied West Bank. For sources and more information, see this company's profile on the Investigate database. Cisco, NASDAQ, CSCO. Between November 2023 and January 2024, the Israeli military purchased Cisco servers and associated professional services, worth more than $2 million. Cisco hardware powers the Israeli military's central data center, which integrates hundreds of combat, intelligence, and command and control systems. The company also provides the Israeli military with its unified communication system, which enables information sharing among different military units, and its WebEx video conferencing system. Cisco also supports the Israeli police and illegal settlements in the occupied West Bank. In December 2024, Cisco employees sued the company, alleging that Cisco had unlawfully suppressed their concerns about Israel's use of the company's technologies. For sources and more information, see this company's profile on the Investigate database. Google, Alphabet, NASDAQ, Goog. The Israeli military publicly admitted to using Google Cloud to enhance its capabilities during its war on Gaza, along with cloud services by Amazon and Microsoft. In October to November 2023, Google received, accelerated, and granted an Israeli Ministry of Defense urgent request to expand its use of Vertex, a Google service that allows users to apply AI algorithms to their own data. In March 2024, the Israeli military signed a consulting contract directly with Google to expand its access to Google Cloud. Throughout 2024, Google processed several additional requests by the Israeli military for increased access to its AI technologies, including the Gemini generative AI language model. The Israeli military has also used Google Photos facial recognition features as part of its mass surveillance of Palestinians in Gaza during the war. Since 2021, Google has been providing cloud services to the Israeli government under Project Nimbus, a $1.2 billion contract it shares with Amazon. It provides cloud services to all branches of the Israeli government, including the military, the Israeli Security Agency, Shabak, Shin Bet, police, prison service, weapons manufacturers, Israel Aerospace Industries and Rafael, see above, and government agencies related to Israel's illegal settlement enterprise in the occupied West Bank. Google's contracts with Israel do not include the company's standard terms of use. Instead, they give the Israeli government total discretion over what Google products it could use and how it uses them. In April 2024, Google fired more than 50 employees who protested the company's activities in Palestine, Israel. In February 2025, Google's parent company Alphabet lifted a ban on using its AI tools for military purposes such as developing weapons and surveillance tools. For sources and more information, see this company's profile on the Investigate database. Microsoft, Nasdaq, MSFT. The Israeli military publicly admitted to using Azure, Microsoft's cloud service, to enhance its capabilities during its war on Gaza, along with cloud services by Amazon and Google. The military's usage of Azure spiked dramatically during the war, rising by more than 155% between June 2023 and April 2024. Between October 2023 and June 2024, Microsoft agreed to provide the Israeli military with 19,000 hours of engineering support and consultancy services. AI tools the Israeli military receives through Microsoft Azure include GPT-4 generative language model, automated translation, and automated document analysis. By March 2024, the military's consumption of Microsoft Azure AI services was 64 times higher than it was before the genocide. Microsoft fired 2 employees after they organized a vigil for Palestinians killed in Gaza. For sources and more information, see this company's profile on the Investigate database. Palantir, NYSE, PLTR. CEO Alex Karp has been a vocal supporter of Israel, saying in November 2023, "I am proud that we are supporting Israel in every way we can." After October 2023, Palantir has provided Israel with multiple of its military and intelligence AI-powered data analytics tools. In January 2024, Palantir held its board meeting in Israel and entered into a strategic partnership with Israel's Ministry of Defense to help Israel's war effort. In October 2024, Norway's largest asset manager Storebrand divested its Palantir shares, worth $24 million, because of concerns that Palantir's work for Israel might implicate Storebrand in violations of international humanitarian law and human rights. For sources and more information, see this company's profile on the Investigate database. Airlines, shipping, logistics. The bulk of weapons transfers to Israel since October have been carried out by U.S. Air Force cargo planes, most prominently the Boeing C-17 Globemaster. However, some commercial cargo airlines have been repeatedly documented at the Israeli Nevatim Air Force Base, having arrived from the Dover, McGuire, and Tinker air bases in the U.S., Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, and Sigonella Naval Air Station in Italy. These airlines include Atlas Air of Purchase, New York, owned by Apollo Asset Management, NYSE, APO, JF Lehman & Company, and Hill City Capital. Cal Cargo Airlines of Shoham, Israel, owned by Challenge Airlines. Kalitta Air of Ypsilanti, Michigan. National Airlines of Orlando, Florida. Western Global Airlines of Estero, Florida. These transfers are coordinated by the DoD Defense Security Cooperation Agency, which had contracted at least 2 companies to support its arms transfers to Israel. Hoplite Group of Destin, Florida, recruited employees to work for the DoD Tiger Team, which was assembled after October 7th to expedite weapons exports to Israel. Sigmatech Inc. of Huntsville, Alabama, recruited employees to work for the Israel Significant Initiatives Group, which was established after October 7th by the U.S. Army Office of Defense Exports and Cooperation to facilitate arms transfers to Israel. In addition, the Israeli government contracts Tampa-based shipping company Overseas Shipholding Group, NYSE, OSG, to deliver JP8 aviation fuel for its Air Force from Valero's refinery in Texas, see above.